Okay, we did get able to hay all up, and he's tickled to death. We got done, and it's just a minute to blow your equipment off, and oh, they're going to get dirty again. Yeah, just got his compressor out and blew the chaff off and cleaned all the hay off and everything. You know why? Because the chaff is the leaves. He wanted to save that. There's a little protein in there. You'd think you'd make me believe he was helping me out. No, he wants them leaves. Anyway, I says, why don't you bring one of them up? I'll take the other one up now. I'll drive you back. I says, which one do you want to take back up? He says, I'll take the chopper and the wagon, and you can take Big Green, which is the other wagon. You know why? It's a little more impressive on the highway. You got a big rig behind you. Anyway, I said, looks over, I says, hey, Winston, want to come along? He comes over and he says, you want to go with Dad or me? He looks. He comes over with me. Of course, you got to lift him up there, because, you know, if you're standing up, it's a high platform tractor, and it comes up about here. You know, you got to take a couple steps up to get in there. So I lift him up in there, shut the door, and I throw down the seat beside me, and he jumps up there. I says, would you want to drive? Huh? That's what I should have did. I should have put him in the driver's seat, you know. And I'd be sitting there, and then people meet us. Like, was there a dog driving that car? Or a tractor? Anyway, got him up here, and I said, hey, well, you want to come in for a cold one? Said, yeah, what the hell. So we come in, and there's a message on my answering machine. I called the district attorney's office. I says, shh, be very, very quiet. So I called. I said, oh, it's Ronnie Boy. Yeah, we had something to discuss with you. First of all, he says, I would like to explain some of the part of the legal system with you. He says, yeah, I don't know a lot about it, but he says, I says, what? He says, now, if this individual were to plead guilty, would you be willing to go with an agreement for sentence? I said, well, it all depends. I says, now, if he pleads guilty, is he just as guilty as if he's convicted by a jury? He says, absolutely. I says, so what would be the difference? He says, well, if a jury convicts him, the judge will assign a sentence. If he pleads guilty, we can offer him one. If he doesn't accept it, then it goes to jury. I says, what are you offering? He says, we're thinking community service. He says, now look, you got all your equipment back. And I says, don't say it. I'm still thinking. I know what you're going to say. But he'd be just as guilty in the law books as if he went to a jury. I says, in my mind, there's no doubt a jury will convict him. He says, you know, a lot of times it surprises. It can go either way. It's a jury of his peers. It'd be people his own age, out of his own age group, and their attorney can say yes or no about any juror. He says he'd be just as guilty if he pleads guilty. He says, absolutely. He says, okay, you tell me what you would suggest for a sentence then. He says, just because we accept it doesn't mean the judge is going to go along with it. He could make it higher or lower. He says, we're thinking 60 days community service. I said, 60 days? Not enough. Make it 120 days and I'll say, okay. Okay, we'll present it to them. But if they turn it down, it will go to jury. I says, good. I says, how long will this take before it all gets over with? He says, maybe by the end of the week, maybe in a couple of days, maybe that depends when we can get into court. He says, I'll go for 120 days if it gets this thing over with. I I got television shows to do. I didn't tell him. But yeah, I'm thinking the Ferguson show, and some of you made a message to me and says, why not Saturday Night Live? Well, in the first thing I thought, they make you do a lot of foolish things on that show. But we'll do Ferguson first and see how that pans out. See how popular I get, or what a big fool I make of myself. Then we'll think about SNL. But I don't know. I'm not discussing the case. I'm not telling you any of the details. He was just explaining the legal system to me, what would happen if he pleads guilty and this and that. The main thing I want is for him to be guilty. Convicted guilty. Because then it'll be on his record. He's an adult. And the other thing is that that he does do some sentence, and I also told the district attorney, he says, not just going teaching young kids how to play basketball. That's not community service. I want him to clean up the roadside ditches along the county here and cut the brush and stuff like that in the hot summertime. And he will be on parole until his sentence is complete. Now, I think that's a pretty big slap in the face for some dignitary, I suppose. But anyway, I want to get it over with. And that's it. That's the Ronnie Boy Show. Hey, it's done for Emil. And let's see, possible showers tomorrow afternoon. I want to bail mine. But Emil said, if we're using your tractors and get done as fast as we did with my silage, I said, hey, don't go that fast. All right, go with that. That's all, folks.